Welcome back to episode 2 of AyyScare Plays Front Office Football 8, Season 2. And it hit me after I actually recorded episode 1. I completely forgot to look at the stats at the end of the year. So we're going to start out this episode with doing that real quick before we hop into Season 2. So let's take a quick look at our team summary and see how things kind of ended for us. Offensive play, horrendous. I mean, I don't think there's really any other way to word that. Defense finished, I would say, basically middle of the pack. However, when your offense is this bad, it's hard for your defense to really flourish. So we're going to just kind of kick it straight into our second season. As a reminder, 2 of our rookies, one didn't see the field at all. The other one saw only a couple of games. So I'm really hoping that we're going to see those 2 rookies kind of help transform this team here going into this season. To be quite honest, I'm not planning to switch anything with my staff just because I don't want to throw too many curveballs at things here. It says that we still have the best option for our head coach. It says we have the best option for our offensive coordinator. Best option for defensive. It says there might be a better option for our assistant coach, which I would say I actually probably agree, although the bars are not that different. I'm just going to keep things as is to not throw too many wrenches here. Now there is a significantly better strength coach, so sometimes you just got to pick the better coach here. It's not coach. All right. Set ticket prices. We'll recommend. Wonderful. All right. How is our cap space? Now, our cap space is significantly better than last year. This will actually give us some money to work with, which is awesome. And it doesn't look like we're going to have that many players that we're going to need to pay, which is another good sign. This running back, while he's done really, his bars are really good, his stats are not so promising, so it's actually good when it comes to a money situation. Number of players here that we'll probably pick up. Again, the little black dot means that the player is going to be available for us to sign as long as we meet their demands, basically. So overall, looking promising. How did we open up that much cap space? Just wondering here, did we lose anybody to I will find it eventually. Transaction log, team. No, we didn't lose anybody to retirement, which means we just had a bunch of people that basically accepted front-loaded deals, I guess, a little bit. Cool. Yeah. I don't see anything up front that I want to really deal with. Dion Knotts, I'll keep him around. These 2 wideouts are not that promising, but we'll keep them there for right now. All right, let's do this thing. All right. Free agency. We are going to have some money to work with. Start here. This guy should not demand that much. Let me open up my blue book. Oh yeah, that dude's asking for way too much based on the production he's given us. Let me look at this again real quick. Oh, get out of here. What the hell was he asking for? He's asking for top dollar as a running back. Not happening. Not happening. You are not a bell cow. You haven't even put up a 1,000-yard season. So you've only had 3 games where you rushed for over 100 yards. You're behind a decent offensive line. Not happening. we're still going to have him this season. So if he blows up, we might franchise him. But based on what we've seen so far, he's not worth that money. Not a huge fan, but let's see. To be honest, that actually isn't a bad deal. By the end of the deal, he'll be like a top 10. But overall, this actually is not a bad deal. He's never started a full season for us. Does he have injury concerns? Maybe hand concerns, which I'm not too worried about. He did have a knee concern last year, though. Alright, we're going to keep him on the sideline for right now. Reconstructive knee surgery. That guy's probably gone for us then. Alright. We'll offer you a second year. Good backup center in case of an injury. Decent backup, and for some reason he's also a fan favorite, so can't go wrong on that front. This guy's bars are not great, but his stats weren't all that great either. We'll give him an offer since he's going to be so cheap. Another guard. What's our guard situation like? Interesting. Looks like a number of our guards got downgraded. So I'm going to give this guy an offer just to keep him around. But if I remember right, I think we had 3 guards last episode that were all in the 50s range, and none of them are there anymore. So they all got downgraded, basically. Go ahead, sign our long snapper to a bigger deal. This guy basically didn't do anything. Once again, decent endurance, good endurance. So those two will be on the field the majority of the time. So maybe I'll go ahead and just... Wait, is this the same person? Wait, now I'm confused. Who the hell was that other player I was just looking at? Darren was the guy I was looking at first. Who the hell was that other guy that I just clicked on that was asking for so much more? Was it this guy? You know what? This guy is asking for more, but his bars for pass rush and pass technique are actually better. He had 3 sacks last year, 10 hurries, 2 quarterback knockdowns, and he's offering a long-term deal that's super cheap. Let's actually get him as our backup. Cool. Outside linebacker, running back are 2 areas that we need to fill. Real quick, where do we land here? Wow, even finishing at 6 and 10, I think it was. Yeah, 6 and 10. We still have 7th overall. We did lose our 3rd round pick because of cap space problems, which sucks. But all right, 7th overall. Take a look at this a little bit more. Let's go through a couple rounds of free agency. Game says I need outside linebacker, quarterback, wide receiver. I don't feel like I need a starting quarterback. I would rather the rookie that we drafted last year, so I guess second-year player, get some start time this year to see what we're more realistically working with him. So I don't feel like I need to go after a starting quarterback. I'm going to go after outside linebacker, wide receiver. Let's see, there are actually a number of wide receivers that we're going to have options from here. All right, this guy had 2 decent seasons, or I guess you could say 3 decent seasons here. Was down last year, didn't do much as a rookie. his avoiding drops at 100 is something that at least I think is very beneficial for a new quarterback. As a new quarterback, you want somebody that you know that if you throw the ball generally like in their hands, you want them to catch it. That's at least my mindset on it. I feel like, especially as a rookie going out to prove yourself, if you're lobbing the ball up and just bouncing off dudes' hands and stuff, it doesn't look good. So this actually is a very interesting option. What's he asking for? He's also not asking for much. Let's see if we can nab this guy. I think that he's going to be a more interesting option for us than, well, definitely more than anybody that's currently on our team. That's for sure. Offer him 22 million. Do we want to give him a 4 or a 5-year deal? Yeah, let's just do it. Here, I'm gonna offer him 25 mil. We'll offer him that 5-year deal. We could also use a corner. This guy's actually coming from the same exact team. He's not asking for much. He's 31. This actually could be a good option for us as well. And again, he's asking for basically nothing. I don't want to get outbid on this. Let's give him a little bit more than he wants. It's almost double what he was asking for, to be honest. Yeah, let's dial that back a little bit. Offer him 18 million as a signing bonus. 14 here and then 18 here. Save ourselves a little bit of money. Ooh, let's see. 2 people express disappointment, 2 express excitement. McKillop and Francis. Who are they? McKillop and Francis. McKillop is the guy going through knee surgery, and fudge, I forgot the other dude's name. Z Francis. Okay. Pull that back up. Z Francis. He is our strong safety. Alright. Fine. We won't go after that guy. You guys convinced me. You guys are super convincing. 2 other very decent wide receiver options here. Let's see what this first guy does. Wow, he went to another team for about $2 million less than we offered him. Okay. Well, on the upside, these 2 guys are now available. Can we compare these guys side by side? All right, cool. All right. Between the last 2 years, I'm going to say that they're basically comparable. This guy put up basically 1,000 to 1,100. Here he did about 700 to 900. But this guy's had 2 more touchdowns. In the end, I would deem these guys about equal. Now, this guy avoid drops is a 1, which in my eyes is a little bit worrisome. Yeah, he had 18, 11. Yeah, those are high drop numbers. I would definitely rather get Kennedy here. Yeah, I mean, he put up 11 drops, but he also got targeted 185 times last year. So, let's see. We're definitely going to be paying this dude more than that other guy, though. Let's see. Move this so I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, so this guy's asking to basically become the top, well, he'll be one of the top paid towards the end of his contract. I don't want to pay him that much. I'm still going to give him a deal, don't get me wrong, but maybe I'll front load his contract a little bit more than he has it. 40 mil, 45, 50. That is a huge freaking contract. But I think nabbing a good wide receiver for our young quarterback is going to be key. So let's see if he signs with us. No way, we lost him. And he went for less money to another team. So I think these guys are not too confident in our quarterback situation. That would at least be my thoughts on it. Which, to be fair, this dude's rated a 17 right now, so I could understand the concern. All right. Well, we have money still to mess with, so we do need an outside linebacker. Lovely rushing. Got 10 sacks last year. Outside linebacker. And once again, not asking for all that much. So let's, especially now that we have the money to spend, let's try to nab at least one or two good players here. Here is another running back, which we have the one guy. That one guy so far has great bars, hasn't proven himself. So I think that getting a backup running back is going to be a good idea. And especially a guy that could potentially hold us into next year when that guy might not be on our team. Let's actually give this guy a 2-year deal. Let's think about how to structure this. We'll offer him a 14 million signing bonus, 12 million, 16 million, and then no third year. I think that is a good 2-year deal for him. See if he accepts it. One other decent wide receiver down here. Very consistent in terms of like being able to start. Yards has been a little bit of a mixed bag, but we'll round up and say he had at least 2 1,000-yard seasons. What are his bars looking like? His avoid drops is low, which is true. He has low drop numbers. I think we actually should offer this guy something. And he's not asking for anything at all. That's becoming a running line here. Let's not overpay him too much, right, guys? That's still way more than he was asking for, so I'm good with that. All right. We have a number of options coming through here. We have the running back, the wide receiver, the linebacker. I guess this guy, my coaching staff just auto re-signed him. So that's fine, whatever. All right, we did nab the outside linebacker. And we nabbed the running back and wide receiver. So that should put us in a good position now to know really what we should be targeting. The only thing here that we need to basically fill out our roster is outside linebacker, tight end. I'm probably not going to go either of those. This says that we need starting quarterback and guard. I do think buffing the offensive line might make sense since we are going to have our hopefully franchise quarterback here stepping up this year. So with 7th overall, we do have a number of options at tight end and guard, or tackle and guard. There is this one wide receiver here that I don't know if he'll fall to 7, but we should probably interview him regardless. If this dude falls to 7, we need to take him. But if he doesn't fall to 7, yeah, I think he's a definite if he falls. Other than that, though, top quarterback will be gone, and actually his bars don't look as promising as our guy anyway. All right, let's take a look at some of these linemen then. First tackle, I'm almost certain is going to be gone. Second tackle will probably be gone. So we're probably looking at these guys. Those bars look good. All right. Honestly, any of those I would probably be happy with. Let's try to get one that's going to be a starter, though, so that this guy, even though he might have some better numbers and these bars might technically be better, he's probably not going to start for us this year. So let's go with one of these guys that should be able to step right in as a starter. Let's interview both these. He's considered overrated. We'll mark him as blue for now. Underrated. Okay. So that is a guy that I'm probably going to be maybe going for. This guy's at 31%. Let's interview him. Overrated, but his bars are still decent. We're going to mark him as blue just so we know we did something with him. Somebody like this could be huge. He's also very underrated. That way our secondary could get bolstered a little bit. I think in terms of first round picks, I think we now have our 3 kind of best options. So we're now going to look further down into the draft. So further down, let's see if there would be an outside linebacker for us to get. Where does that dude fall on this list? He'll be gone by second. This guy will probably be gone by second, but let's interview him. Good option if he falls. Where does he go on the adjusted list? I typically use the adjusted list, which I know some people disagree with me on, but that's how I typically do it. Very underrated. That's another decent option if he falls. Let's take a look at some of these other later guards. Guy didn't do the options. Very overrated. His bars are decent. Did not do the combine, which is definitely a little bit worrisome. This guy's numbers are great, but it looks like he's mainly just a run blocker. Which wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, I think at least for the next year or two, we're going to be a run first team. He's considered overrated, so I'm going to mark him. Let's look at tackles for a minute. Do we look at like second overall tackle? I think he's going to be gone, but let's just do it. If he's available, we're going him. Then we'll kind of go down the list here. Blocking strength is not the best. Those bars look really good, but he's not going to start this year. Let's go ahead and interview him anyway. That could be a good second round pick. Endurance can probably get put up some by our coaching staff. So let's mark him as well. All right. We have a number of options. As a quick note, and you can probably tell a little bit, that now that season 1 is done, I feel like most people watching season 2 have watched season 1, so I am taking this a little bit faster. And also, until we really know our team, there's going to be a little bit of, we don't exactly know these players yet. I guess that's the best way of wording it. All right, Dallas. First overall pick goes running back. Second overall pick, New York, who I think had second overall pick last year too. Goes wide receiver. All right, so that's their wide receiver for the quarterback that they took last year. I think New York is the team that took the quarterback I wanted in season or in episode 1. Outside linebacker. Pittsburgh. Goes defensive end. 5th overall is Washington. Washington is going to go quarterback. Very interesting. That first tackle is still on the board, which I was not anticipating. Carolina also goes quarterback. Man. Do we trade back? There's still a number of options here that we would overall be happy with. I feel like trading back could grant us a future pick. And again, there are a number of players here that we would be happy with. We didn't even bother interviewing the top tackle because we weren't anticipating him to be available. This guard was technically the best graded without an adjustment in the entire draft. He's also definitely start ready. He's already at basically 50% developed. We have this young corner that I would be pumped to have. We have this other tackle down here that I think is equally in a good position. It's just he's not as developed right now. Let me real quick, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to mess with this, but let's see something. If I trade down to like Atlanta, I feel like I'm safe trading that far down. Maybe even Kansas City. Let's see what Kansas City would offer us for our pick. Will you give us your 12th and your next year's 3rd? Okay. How about your next year's 2nd? Oh. Next year's 1st? No. Okay. All right. Well, 2 second-round picks next year for trading down 5 picks. I'm okay with that. All right, we're going to keep this on slow-mo here while we hope and pray that we didn't just lose all the players we wanted. Kansas City goes first tackle on the board, who we didn't interview, so that's probably a safe pick that we didn't go with them. Buffalo does take the guard that we were looking at. We still have a number of options, though. San Francisco goes defensive tackle. Atlanta, who I was initially thinking about trying to trade for, they go the cornerback. Okay. And then final pick before us, Jacksonville goes cornerback. All right. So we traded down a number of picks, and Riley Hines is still sitting here available. Let's just do it. I mean, let's go. So basically, we got a 2nd-round pick next year for basically nothing. I don't know if nothing is a fair way to say that, but I think I'm happy with that. All right, now we could pick up the other tackle here. The rookie guy that I just drafted. Is there a way for me to actually see him right now? Shoot. I don't know if he was a fit as a left or a right tackle. Because of that, I might actually go outside linebacker here. Let's see, we got a guard that we can still go with later. Maybe I should try to target a defensive secondary player. That first guy looked promising. Safeties real quick. That looks really good, actually. Wayne Lee, maybe. Oh, that guy looks pretty darn good, too. Now, Wayne Lee definitely looks a little bit better. Okay. All right, we're going Wayne Lee. Right around that. We lost our 3rd round pick. Crap, I completely forgot about that. Let's see what we still have here, though. Assuming the guard went. He did. All right. There is an outside linebacker here that we actually liked, though. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Let's go. That's a decent looking tight end or defensive end. That. In terms of pass rush, and this guy would not realistically not be a planned starter for us. That's actually pretty nice. Let's go ahead and grab him. What else do we have to fill in? Ooh, that tackle is now showing in here. 76. The safety is shown here as a 61. Perfect. Let's see. Could use another corner and tight end. Tight ends first. That's a decent one for a 6th rounder, to be honest. That's also decent. We'll plan to give them next round. Let's find the best corner that's left. Ooh, let's go, Kevin Bliss. Let's go. Oh, man. I'm right now feeling this draft. I don't know if I'm getting overhyped here, but I feel like that was actually... I felt good about that draft. Yes, let's go. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. All right. Do we have anything that we need to fill? Now, I'm not trying to put myself in too much money problems because, as you can see, this year we lost our 3rd round draft pick, which I could be wrong. I don't think that happened a single time in the first season of this, like in the 20 years that we ran the first time. I don't think that happened a single time, but we are going to see here. I am still going to look at free agents just in case anybody obvious slipped through. Getting another outside linebacker honestly would be lovely. So let's go ahead and make sure we nab this guy. And then I don't want to spend too much money because we're probably going to need to, once again, nab 1 or 2 players during the season. And during the season, the coaching staff actually does that for us. So, like, if 2 of our running backs get injured the first week, our coaching staff actually goes and pulls in somebody from free agency for us. I think that that's a setting that you can turn off, but once again, I don't play the game that way, so I prefer it when and kind of go through the seasons as this series shows. All right. I'm hoping that we still nab this outside linebacker. Denver. We did sign him. Okay, cool. That leaves us about $12 million to help us throughout the season in case we need to pull in somebody. All right. Hopefully now I guess he's a sophomore quarterback, shows up. Let's actually do this. I'm trying to remember. Can you see? Can you see preseason stats? I don't think you can. You can look at the game logs, but we'll sim here through this preseason. We are now about to start the season. Right now we saw Dion Knotts listed. I'm assuming Bart Hines is going to get plugged in here. Come on, coaching staff. You know that you have faith in the guy. Let's do it. I know we lost week 1. Who do we start? It's interesting. We still have... Our coaching staff does not trust Bart Hines over this horrid second-year player. I said horrid. He actually had a decent first game. All right. We will roll to week 4. 1-1. 1-3. We actually had a super early bye week. Okay. Come on, put in Bart for me. I need to see what this guy's made of. Oof. All right, 3-3. All right, 3-4. All right, our coaching staff has said we're running Dion Knotts for the season, apparently, which I kind of disagree with. I very much disagree with, but let's see how it pans out. How are our stats looking? All right. As of right now, running game is actually going decently. Our running game is split 3 ways between 2 running backs and our quarterback. This is exactly the Lamar. This is literally last season. I was like, this Knott's guy kind of sounds like a Lamar Jackson. Dude is the top rusher on our team. Still struggling some with the passing game, but already doing better than he did last year, which is promising. Not only that, tight end is his, well, I guess technically not his favorite target, but most catches, so it's kind of like a Mark Andrews situation. Very interesting. All right. Let's keep things rolling. You know what? The one thing I will say is if the coaching staff is really planning to sit that quarterback all season, it will allow us to hopefully trade this guy. Unless that other quarterback literally is this bad. I don't think that's the case, but it's rare that I see them not put in the better option at this point. So let's see, we're 5-4. 5-5. Going up against Green Bay here. This is at 5-6. Going up against Pittsburgh. We beat Pittsburgh, so we're 6-6. Let's take a look here again. We are now actually starting Bart Hines. I wonder when he took over. He's now started 3 games. All right. So our coaching staff finally said, Dion, We need to take the bench, and we need to see what our other guy's made of. Very interested, though. Is that guy our top rusher still? No, he just got beat out. He hasn't played in 3 games, and he's basically our top rusher still. Did M. Rose get hurt? He did. Okay, so we're running backup running backs right now. So it's actually a good thing we went and nabbed this guy. He's not doing all that well, but it's better than nothing. And the ball really is getting passed around a lot, which is good. And we already have a defender almost at 100 tackles. We still have 4 games to go. This is the guy that was the Rookie of the Year last year? It is. Man, that dude's having a hell of a sophomore season. All right. Let's keep it rolling. See if Hines can make a playoff push here for us. Sitting here at 6-6, going up against another 6-6 here in Minnesota. They beat us bad. They beat us. We beat Detroit. All right, I'm not going to bother running the playoff simulation because there's only 1 game left. At 7-8, we're probably not making playoffs, but if we win, I guess there is a slight chance we do. We did win, so we're sitting at 8-8. Did that make us playoffs? Did it make us playoffs? Oh my gosh, the wait. The wait. We did not. All right. I wasn't anticipating it, but man. All right. Well, you know what? Once again, we increased from how we did last season. We'll go ahead and simulate this out here. This year's Super Bowl between New England and San Francisco. Win goes to San Francisco. All right. Let's take a quick look here. Go ahead and hit save. And then let's take a look at how that team ended up kind of performing. So we know M. Rose got injured for a while. He actually only started 2 games for us, only played in 8. Admittedly, his averages are decent in terms of he was averaging a 4.7, which was much better than Keys. Let's see. Did Knotts end up starting again? Yeah, it looks like our coaching staff let Bart Hines in to do some work and then ended up putting Knotts back in the driver's seat, is what it looks like. California, Detroit, Minnesota. Is that the end of our season? Oh, wait, it did say it here. California, Detroit, Minnesota. Yeah, so Knotts ended up coming back in to finish out the season for us. Which, going back to what I said earlier, while I would have liked to see Hines be in there a little bit more, this might give us trading power with Knotts. I mean, the dude is a rookie and a sophomore, led the team to be at 9-6, so he's no slouch, that's for sure. Part of me is wondering if he's actually a better option than this leads on. You have to remember the passing touchdowns, at least in my first season of this, always seemed relatively low. And we also don't have an absolute stud wide receiver. So it's interesting. I don't know. I feel like this guy, his bars are lower than they should be. I'll put it that way. That being said, I think it's only fair that we would give Bart Hines the opportunity to prove himself. Let me know what you guys think. throw it down in the comments. I am probably not going to record another episode before this one goes live and stuff. So if you guys have an opinion on this, whether we should move forward with Knots or if we give Bart Hines, who was our first round third pick, the shot moving forward, I would love to know. In my opinion, looking at this, I think Knots' bars are not fully reflective of how good he actually is. Bart Hines, I'll admit, I put Bart Hines in a weird position because he was starting behind this other rookie. So it is an awkward position. That being said, I think that it's only fair that we give Bart Hines the shot. But this is going to be one of those times where the decision we make here is probably going to be very influential in terms of how, honestly, the rest of the entire thing goes, because they probably won't last all 20 years, but whichever one of these two we get rid of, we may be going up against them for the next decade. So I don't know. I will say, like, I'm not diving into like which teams they went up against and things like that, so it might be an unfair comparison. But it is very interesting that Knots has been able to go 9-6, while Bart Hines was given the time to develop some and things like that, and when put in, he went 1-4. You'll also notice, I think he started out. No, maybe he started out around a 66. I was gonna say, I think his like top end overall rating has decreased both seasons, but it's still very close to what it was, if it's not the same. So that's not probably a fair comparison. Again, let me know in the comments which quarterback you guys want to see this series move forward with. And we'll go from there. Knots versus Hines. Outside of that, this guy, once again, seems to be an outstanding pick. Very happy we went this guy second year in a row with over 100 tackles. Looking at the stats here, I can't imagine that somebody made the Pro Bowl team. None of these stats are honestly all that outstanding unless I'm missing something obvious, but let's go ahead and take a quick look if anybody did. Don't slam me, guys. I know where this is. I know where it is. It's got to be in the freaking almanac. Where the hell is this piece of crap? Awards. Season awards. There we are. Oh, we actually did. We had a tackle and a defensive tackle. Okay, I was gonna say normally for like defensive fronts, I really only look at sacks, but yeah, for a nose tackle, he almost had 80 tackles, which is really freaking good. Okay. All right. I actually didn't look last time. Oh yeah, that's right. We had defensive rookie of the year. We actually did have first team overall punter last year, second team overall fullback, and defensive tackle. So that defensive tackle has actually made Pro Bowl both years for us, which is it's a good sign. Cool. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the fact that Front Office Football 8 is back on the channel. Again, this is definitely an interesting quarterback conundrum that we're running into. So I hope that you guys give me some thoughts in the comments. If not, when I record next episode, I will make the decision at the time. But again, I want this to be like a fun thing that hopefully you guys can chime in on. So let me know what we should do in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Till then, AyyScare out.